Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Greg from Wint Audio Video coming to you with another great video showcasing vintage audio equipment. All right, today on the workbench we have a great little setup. It's a Pioneer SX-780 receiver and a Technics SL-Q200 turntable. In this video we're going to talk about their features. I'll show you what all these buttons and knobs and controls do. We're going to talk about the hookups, what kind of connections you have on the back of them. And then of course we're going to do a little demonstration so you can hear how they sound and how they operate. So hope you like this video. Hope you stay with me till the end. So let's start with the Pioneer. The Pioneer SX-780 is a very popular receiver. They were built in 1979. And they're just a great all-rounder. They're not their lowest end model. They're not their highest end model, but they're just a great mid-level receiver. You can get these pretty reasonably priced still. As vintage audio is getting more and more expensive, there's still some gems that can be found. So this one I think is rated at about 45 watts per channel, which is plenty for most systems. Let's talk about its features here. So on the left, we've got the power switch. We've got a headphone jack, speakers A and B buttons here, bass and treble controls, got a low filter here. We've got FM muting. This is our input selector. It goes from AM on the left to FM to phono and auxiliary. Right here, we've got our mode button, either stereo or mono. We've got tape 1 and tape 2 monitor switches. We've got our balance control, left and right. There's the middle. Here's our volume. And then we've got a loudness switch, which kind of boosts the bass and treble frequencies, especially at lower volumes. And then we've got our tuning knob for tuning FM or AM stations. Let's go ahead and talk about the turntable, then we'll fire it up. We'll get a better view. There we go. So this one's in pretty nice shape. A couple little scratches. I kind of buffed the top a little bit, hand polished it. But it's not bad condition for being, I think these were made early 80s, 83 to 85 is what I read. This is a direct drive, semi-automatic turntable. That's nice in that it has a nice stable speed circuit, quartz lock speed circuit. You got your 33 and 45 switch here. I'll go ahead and raise this up here. Yeah. And if you pull this off, so you manually get it started. You've got your cueing to drop it down and raise it up. This will stop it during its function and go back to rest. And this one has a P-mount cartridge, so that's nice in the fact that it's very simple. You don't have to set up the cartridge or align it. You don't have to balance the tone arm. It's all preset, but it also limits you to basically using a P-mount cartridge that is similar to these Audio-Technicas. That's probably the stock one, and that's a great choice for this turntable. And then you got your dust cover. And that's really about it. There's not a lot to it. So it makes it very easy for people to use. You don't have to fuss with it too much to be able to enjoy records. So let's go ahead and we'll flip them around. We'll take a look at the back cover and all the inputs and outputs, and I'll show you what all that means. Give me just a second. All right, here's a look at the back of the Pioneer SX-780 receiver and the Technics SL-Q200 turntables. Show you what all these hookups mean and what they're for. So let's start over on the right of the Pioneer. We got the power cord. We've got an unswitched outlet, so you might plug in a CD player or a tape deck or something like that to there. We've got a switched outlet, which means it'll power itself once you turn on the power to the receiver. So you might hook up a turntable or something to that you want to come on along with the power of the receiver. Up here we've got our speakers A and B, right and left hookups, nice little spring terminals. These are usually pretty stout quality. I don't see them broken very often. Moving over to the left, we've got the FM de-emphasis switch. That was for a Dolby, FM Dolby, which never really took off. So you want to leave that in the 75 microsecond position there. This is our built-in AM antenna. Right here is an external AM antenna hookup. External FM 300 ohm connection, which is like the twin lead wire. And then we've got our, I guess these two here would be your, oh, actually, no, ground, and here for 75 ohm for FM. And that's for a coax wire. Under here, we've got phono ground. That's your ground connection for your phonograph. There's your phono input, auxiliary input, left and right. Record, tape 1, record, that's your output to go to like some device that might record. Play is your input. Tape 2, record and play. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Moving up to the Technics. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. Under here is our RCA jacks, right and left output. Right next to that is a little tiny hole for a ground wire, which is often missing on these. There is people that remake them. If you don't have yours, you can find them on eBay. Just want to make sure you get the one. In this case, it has a little, kind of a little rod, a little metal rod that plugs in. Customer didn't drop off his cables, and I sold my last one recently, so I just used this little pin hooked to a clip lead that I connected to the ground here. And then I just pushed it in the hole to get my ground connection so that I didn't have a hum. And then here we've got a power cord that's actually removable. So pretty straightforward connections. Let's go ahead and flip it back around and we'll hook it back up and we'll do a little demo for you. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little demo. So we got our power switch here. We'll go ahead and flip that on. Get this a little lower so you can see the lights here. So you hear that little click, that's the protection circuit engaging the relay. It shows that we're on source right there. If we hit the tape, it'll light up the tape monitor button so you'll know that it's set for the tape inputs. So let's check FM. I think I got something here going. We're probably getting in trouble if we play that too long, but there's the tuner. We'll show you. I don't get a lot of reception down here in the garage, but oh, that's quite a far ways away, and that's coming in the stereo, so that's not bad. And then AM, may not get much here either, but let's take a look. Yeah.
You're in an unsafe situation. You are very unsafe.
So the signal here, so see how it's off to the right? That's the signal strength for AM. When you're in FM, the middle is when you're locked onto a station. So it's a little different on the tuning signal meter there. Phonograph, we'll check that in a second. Let's check auxiliary. I've got something hooked up there. Let me get that playing. see, quite punchy sound. It's I mean, that's super loud in here. I don't know if you could tell how loud that is, but that was only at about 30% on the dial. So it's got plenty of power. Let's go ahead and check the phonograph. So we flip to phono. Raise our lid, grab a record. We're back with Marty O'Reilly and the Old Soul Orchestra Pray for Rain album. Let's try maybe a different song than we've played in the past. So we bring this over. I think I got it pretty close. Haha. I should probably put the speed on 33. There we go.
First she changed her name and her number and a place she called home. Poor jet black dye through her golden hair. And she tried to be someone that I've never seen before. She knows that I'm followed everywhere. She tried to be a pilot on a little airplane. I was waiting for her up inside of the car. And she tried to sell coffee in a Parisian shop. Found my face buried in the ground. Didn't last too long as a gamble. She sold out her first hand. Cut her hair and soul and she joined the infantry. Found herself under my command. 'Cause she's mine. If she were a fish, should I have to see? I'd sweep her up with a starry net. If she were a golden goose, I'd be a starving fox. I'd ride my teeth on a slender neck. Just because she's mine. Because she's mine. Just because she's mine.
All right, well, there you have it. Getting a little vibration at the end there. I might have had bass up a little too high, but hope you enjoyed it. That's the Pioneer SX-780 receiver paired with the Technics SL-Q200 turntable. Thanks for joining me. Check out Wint Audio Video for your vintage audio needs and also your modern custom installation needs, check out Marty O'Reilly and the Old Soul Orchestra. Pray for Rain is the album. That was a Stalker song. There they are. You can find Marty online at martyoreilly.com. You can find him on social media. Highly recommend picking up this album if you like this music. Thanks for joining me, folks. Leave a comment down below if you have one. Leave a thumbs up. If you like this video, hit that bell notification if you want to get alerted next time I drop a new video. And we appreciate you joining us. Have a great day.